y'all doing today? How y'all doing today? Welcome to another episode. Well, not another episode. It's a new episode. It's a new series that I'm working on. It's a new kind of thing, a little bit less perfectionist and just more frequent. Something that's just going to go out there that you guys can watch and listen to. Listen, I know I'm out and about, so I'm doing something and making sure that you get content pretty frequently. Just because it's not a ZolYin numbered podcast doesn't mean it's gonna be not as good, right? Listen, I got a lot of thoughts, I got a lot of things, a lot of ideas, a lot to say that doesn't really go into the show proper itself, because usually the show is a pretty topical show specifically about certain things, but this is kind of like an all-inclusive whatever it is. I'm gonna put it here. I'm also gonna put some behind a paywall kind of podcast that's gonna be upcoming, so prepare for that. That's gonna be fun. I have a lot of ideas. Anyways, this whole thing has been inspired by Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. Shout out to Jeremy. Thank you so much for the idea. Full disclosure, right? I've done the drive-in before, which is when I was out and about, but that was just an audio podcast. It wasn't a video thing. Now we're doing a car video. I put my own coded spin on it by putting a Q for the shadowy, the shadowy supercoder, underbelly, underground, phantom universe, silhouette culture that we have going on in the world. It also triggers certain people, so when they see the letter Q. So that's pretty much why I put that in there. It was pretty funny. Life is too short. You gotta have fun. And so that's why car starts with the Q. So full disclosure, it's fun. We have fun here. You gotta have fun. You gotta laugh. You gotta have a good time. But sometimes, this show, I want to do like a lot of the topics that are just on my mind, a lot of deep introspective. I don't want to say philosophical, because a lot of people they attribute philosophical like books and stuff, from Greek philosophers, French philosophers, like Foucault, the Greek ones like Socrates and Aristotle and all that stuff. And I'll be honest with you, it's been so long since I read any of them. It's been probably about 20 years since I read any of them that I just barely remember it. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. The only thing I remember from Foucault is the panopticon. That's what I remember, because that's what we're living in right now, the panopticon. So go look that one up. Go look up that word. Panopticon. It's pretty accurate for the kind of dystopian that we're living in. Anyways, that's an aside. Okay, I don't want to make this like super duper like tied in to a date. I want it to be more of an evergreen kind of video where you can watch it again and be like, yeah, he was really on it. Or maybe I'm not on it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I have the wrong idea, or it was a bad take. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Okay. I'm always interested in hearing what you have to say. Here's the thing, okay? I know I talk a lot about, these big ideas, but the reason behind it is to kind of get a better understanding of, myself, the zeitgeist, what you guys think. We already know what the Borg thinks. They're so bland and passé, and they're so typical. They're programmed, so it's kind of like, that's boring, right? I'm not here to convince them. That's not what this show is. I've never been a person to try and convince people of anything. I'm more of a fan of forking. I've always been a fan of forking. If me and you don't get along, right, then me and you should just split, and that's not a big deal, right? That's kind of the way of being a very masculine person, is to see the world, or even just as an adult, not even just masculine, but just as an adult even. You see something that you don't like, it ain't your business. All right, cool. I'm going to go ahead and fork away from it. I don't want to contribute to it. I don't want to, participate in it. I'm moving on. And just go on to my own way. And, none of the two shall meet. And may I succeed in all my glory. And if you succeed in your thing, well, it ain't my business either way. Fail or succeed, it ain't my business. And that's the way I am. I'm more of a focus on yourself kind of person, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be blindsided and blind-eyed to, you know, what's going on in the world. That's not what this is. You know me. This is kind of this has got the yin yang all over it, right, man? This is like a very nuanced channel, right? And nuance doesn't mean riding the fence. I'm gonna just let you know right now. Nuance is not riding the fence. Nuance is about being out there and seeing something and then understanding the complexities of that something, right? That's the difference between a fence sitter and someone who's nuanced. If I see a bad thing, I go, that's a bad thing. Okay, that's it, right? If I see a bad thing, but then I also see opportunity there, that's nuance, right? So for example, the economy is crap, right? The economy is doing bad, but is there an opportunity here? Are there things here that are, that we can financially profit off of, right? Are there, services that we could do that will help people who are in need and make us a buck, right? That's the kind of thing. Where is the demand, right? And can we supply that? That's kind of the concept I'm talking about. It's like looking at something and saying, okay, that's really bad, but how can we make it work for us? That's why I always promoted this concept I created called the shadow pill, which is, go your own way, make things work for you. It's your life. Be the captain of your ship. Be the guy. You're the guy. You're your main character. No one else is here to save you. No one is gonna save you. No one can save you. Okay? You gotta be the captain. Alright? Otherwise, this ship is gonna go down. And it's your life. So you gotta care about it the most. Alright? So that's kind of the point of this whole thing, honestly. It's very heady, but I want to break it down into pieces to the point where it's like super, not only delicious, but, it's educational and helpful, something that you can use. It's got utility behind it. And it's my thoughts, right? This is just me kind of, giving you what's in my head, and you tell me what's in your head, and then we can make something work by giving each other information that will help us better our lives. That's kind of the point of this journey. For my own journey, I'm on my own journey too. I'm a human just like you. I'm not like some sort of, I'm not some ephemeral entity. You know what I mean? So we're all on this earth together. Let's make this happen. Let's make our lives work. I talk about humanity all the time. One of the things about humanity is, and which is nuanced, is there's strength and weakness. Humanity is strength and humanity is weakness. I'll give you an example of weakness. A job, you're in your job and you're afraid to leave because you hate the job, but you're afraid to leave because it's a stable job, right? Weakness, people have to be more honest about what weakness is. Weakness is not like inherently negative. Weakness is a factual thing. You have to look at it and say, yeah, that is a weakness I have. I am afraid to quit my job and leap into something new and push myself, right? That's a weakness a lot of people have, right? That's not a bad thing per se. It's just that they have to recognize that. That's like the first step to like actually making their lives work, is recognizing, yeah, I am afraid. Okay, where's my limit in which I'm willing to dump everything and go? Are you willing to put a date on your last day or whatever, right? Okay, this is the date I'm gonna quit. And are you willing to stick to that? Right? No matter what happens. Maybe something bad happens and you need the money. The economy crashed. You need the money. Are you still going to stay to your leave day? Or are you going to, back up off that and go back to the old way? Which is, that's the weakness in action, right? Inner strength is about pushing through no matter what happens and still making it work, right? So that's an example of humanity in action, and honestly, that's everybody. Really, everybody has a moment where they're like, am I willing to stick to my word on this thing, or should I go back on it? What's wiser? Is it wise to do this, and to pull back and start over, or is it just a weak thing? Is it just me being scared of applying myself, right, and pushing through? So that's a big thing. And also, people ask themselves all the time, am I ready for that? Am I ready to go? And the real answer to that last question is, no one's ever ready. there's always opportunity to just hold back another week, you know, and do that. It takes a lot of inner strength to just be like, yo, I'm gonna just make it happen no matter what happens. I think that's like a problem a lot of people have, including me. I've had that problem before where I hated working someplace and I was afraid to leave. It took me a long time to quit. You know, even now I'm kind of considering quitting in this environment just because life is short, you know, and I want to do stuff. I have other things on my table I want to do. I'm weighing my options just like anybody else, right? I'm thinking to myself, okay, what's the best case scenario for me to, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're just calculating it and then picking a date and then sticking to that date. I guarantee you one thing's for sure. Whatever date I pick, I'm out of here. I'm done, right? And that's, honestly, that's kind of what this channel is another venue for me to kind of, you know, push myself up on out of here and do something greater, do something more fun, and do something not only just more fun, honestly, because I find fun in everything. What I'm doing, I love to do. It's fun. It's what I like to do even when I was in high school, way back in the day. God, I feel old now. But way back in the day, when I was in high school, I did this screen, you know, shit on the computer just like everybody else. You know, it was a nerdy kind of thing to do. You're on the screen, you're typing shit, and you're having a good time, right? And that's just, you know, you make it part of who you are, right? The job or whatever, you kind of pick a job. That's the idea, at least. You pick a job that you would love to do, so it doesn't feel like work, right? That's the kind of the goal. At least I would hope so. I would hope you would pick something that doesn't feel like work all the time. But there comes a time where every man has to ask himself, do I want a boss anymore? And I'm at the age and the time in my life where I'm like, I'm kind of done with bosses. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm pushing through this thing. We're gonna make this happen. Come join me on this journey, okay? Hit the like button if you like this video. Thanks so much for watching. I'm gonna make sure this one is short in the future. This is way longer than I intended it to be. It's like 12 minutes. Anyways, take it easy. Bye-bye. Have a great day. See you later.